Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about percent of change. You've seen percent of change before. We're just going to set it up in a little bit different way. We're going to use what we've learned before and add on to it a little bit. So we're going to get into what percent of change is. Percent of change is the ratio of the change and amount to the original amount expressed as a percent. If the new number is greater than the original number, the percent of change is a percent of increase. If the new number is less than the original number, the percent of change is a percent of decrease. Now, again, you've seen this before. We want to determine whether each percent of change is a percent of increase or a percent of decrease, then find the percent of change. So take a look over here. This is kind of the setup that you're going to have it set up in. You got the new minus the original divided by the original. This part we've seen before, okay? And then we're going to set it equal to the percent over 100. Having it actually set equal to this is the part that we haven't quite seen before. So we're going to take the percent here, or the change here, and set it equal to the percent over here so that we can do this. Now, what they've done is they've set up two different problems here. They've got one over here, the original 20, the final 23, and then over here they've got the original 25 and the final 17. So the final, when they say that, that's the new. So they got the new minus the original, the new minus the original. So this is an increase because the new is greater than the original. This is a decrease because the new is less than the original. That's a quick way to tell whether or not you're looking at increase or decrease. All right, so here, we come through here and they're gonna set them up. They found the difference, 23 minus 20 equals 3. That's the change. Over the original amount equals percent over 100. Now, the percent is always over 100 because every percentage is out of 100. That's what's going on there. They cross products. 100 times 3 equals 20 times R. Gets you 300 equals 20R. Then they divide by the 20. They solve for R. And then they set it up as a percentage. The percent of increase is 15%. That's all that's going on there. And then they do the same thing over here, except this is a percent of decrease. Now notice, they get a negative 32 equals R. They said, oh, well, it's a decrease, so decrease of 32%. That's what you're looking at. Okay, so we're gonna work a problem or two and go through that. So here we have, right here, we know what the new is, 30. We know the original is 66. Just by looking at the new and the original, you can go, oh, that's a decrease. Okay, so we're gonna take it, we're gonna throw it into our little equation here. 30 minus 66 over 66 equals, and I'm going to turn this into a variable, x over 100. All right, so I'm going to do this, 30 minus 66, negative 36 over 66 equals x over 100. Cross products get you negative 36 times 100 equals 66x. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply that. Negative 3600 equals 66x. Divide by 66 on both sides. This cancels out. Gets you x equals, and it should be about negative 55. Yeah. Okay. And so you get a decrease of 55%. Decrease. That's what you're looking at. Right? Now, it's not that complicated once you know how to solve equations, once you know how to do cross product. Setting it up is where you're going to make your error, or small arithmetic errors. Be careful with your signs and everything like that. But once you know how to set this up like this is not a big deal. Okay? So, that's all you're kind of looking at there. We're going to move on so this video isn't too long. All right, percent of change. These are the word problems that you're going to kind of see dealing with this type of setup. The total number of passengers on cruise ships increased 10% from 2007 to 2009. If there were 17.22 million passengers in 2009, how many were there in 2007? So this is the new, this is the percentage. So you don't know the original. So you have to set it up. Well, 17.22 minus the original over the original equals 10% increase, so that's a positive 10, over 100. Now you do cross products, 100 times this, 17.22 minus F equals 10F. Same thing here, and they keep moving through, solving your problem as you go, okay? Cross products, 1722 minus 100F equals 10F. Add plus 100F to both sides. They're getting the variable, they're starting to isolate it, okay? Divide by 110, they get 15.65 equals approximately F, okay? And they say approximately because of the million passengers. There were approximately 15.65 million passengers in 2007, so that's your original number, okay? So that's what they're looking at. Now, if we do this type of problem, this is kind of your setup. A recent percent of increase in tuition at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois was 5.5%. If the new cost is $33,408 per year, find the original cost per year. So now they want you to find the original cost. Well, it's not that bad if you just paid attention. So, what's your new? And that's all you're asking yourself. What's the new? What's the original? What's the percent? That's what you're going through and asking yourself this. All right, well, we know it's over 100. We know that. It's a percentage. So do we know our percentage? Yes, it's 5.4. Great, 5.4. Do we know the new? Yes, 33408. We know this is subtraction because that's our formula right here, minus the original, but we don't know the original. So since we don't know the original, that's what we're solving for. So cross products, you get 100 times 33408 minus x equals 5.4x. Well, no problem. Distributive property here and here. 3340800 minus 100x equals 5.4x. All right, move the variables over. So add 100x to both sides. This will cross that out. That was the whole point, was to get rid of that. So now you've got this number, 3340800 equals 105.4x. You're going to divide by this number and divide by this number. Cancel that out, and you're going to have x equals whatever this number is. And I'm going to throw this number in the calculator because, well, I don't want to do that long division. So divided by 105.4, and it gets you 31696.39, and I rounded here because we're talking about money. All right, so this is your original cost. That's what you're looking at. So that's all it is. Just ask yourself when you're going through these problems, do I know the original? Do I know the new? Do I know the percentage? If you know certain things, the rest of it becomes easier to do. But that's all it is. All right? All right, sales tax. Now you should be able to solve sales tax, but if you don't, here's a quick lesson on it. Okay? And you're going to see sales tax all your life, so you're going to need to know how to figure it out. All right, Marta is purchasing wire and beads to make jewelry. Her merchandise is 28.62 before tax. If the tax is 7.25% of the total sales, what is the final cost? The tax is 7.25% of the price of the merchandise. Multiply 7.25% times 28.62 to find out how much the tax price is. So, got to turn that into a decimal, 0.0725 times 28.62. That's what your number is after you make this multiplication. And then if you want to know what your cost is afterwards, you take your original price before tax and add the tax amount together. That gets you your next price. And that's all you're looking at. So, they rounded to 2.07 because we're talking about money again. Added them together, the original plus the tax, 30.69. The total cost of Marta's jewelry supplies is 30.69. All right, so here's our practice. A new DVD costs $24.99. If the sales tax is 6.85%, what is the total cost? Well, you take 24.99 times 0.0685. Multiply those two things together. Right? 24.99 times 0.0685. You get 1.70. Again, I rounded. But we want to know what is the total cost. So we're going to add this to this. Add those two together, and you'll have your answer. So, 26.69. And you're good. I wonder if I rounded that wrong. 24. Oh, I left off my deal. 24.99 times 0.0685, sorry, 0.685, I left off my 5. That should be a 1, that gets this to 7, okay? Watch that, it's easy to do, all right? Okay. Make sure you plug things correctly into the calculator. It's where a lot of people make their mistake, that's what I just told you. All right, but the setup's the same, it still has to be set up in that way. 24.99 times 0.0685. Multiply those, get your sales tax amount, then add that amount to the original. Okay? And then you talk about discounts. You also need to know how to do discounts. So when we were doing tax, we were adding it to the number. Discounts is going to be taking it away from the number. Okay? So since Charles has earned good grades in school, he qualifies for the good student discount on his car insurance. His monthly payment without the discount is $85. If the discount is 20%, what will he pay each month? So we're looking to find the discount. So the discount is 20% of the original payment. So take 20%, multiply it times 85, that'll be your discount. So 0.2 times 85 gets you 17. And then if you want to find the cost after discount, you take the 85, you subtract out the 17, you have your total cost. And that's what they did here. 85 minus 17 equals 68, and you're good. Okay? A picture frame originally priced at $14.89 is on sale for 40% off. What is the discounted price? So they want the price after the discount. Same setup. 14.89 times 0.4, 0 if you like. Multiply those two together. 14.89 times 0.4 get you 5.956. 5.956. We're going to round, get you 5.96, and then subtract this from this. That's what that'll get you. So 14.89 minus 5.96. So 14.89 minus 5.96 get you 8.93. So 8.93 is how much after the discount. Okay, so this is the price that you would pay. All right, so there's other ways to kind of do this. This is one of the simpler ways to do this. The other way to look at this is that if you got a discount of 40%, how much are you actually paying? Where you're paying 60% of it. So you can multiply 60 times 14.89. That'll get you the amount that you're going to pay right here. That's one way to look at it. So if you've been taught that, that's fine. But be careful of what they're asking, because sometimes they may ask, what is the discounted price? And sometimes they may ask, how much is the discount? So understand the difference and what you're looking at. If you have any questions about this, need help, let me know.